Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. In today's video, we bring you the latest developments from the war in Ukraine, focusing on Russia's newly launched operation known as Storm No.3. We will also examine the broader geopolitical landscape, stretching from Europe to the United States, where tensions and shifting power dynamics continue to reshape the global order. Russia's Storm No.3 campaign. The Storm No.3 plan was drafted by the Russian General Staff as early as late 2022. Its ultimate objective to establish a strategic corridor that would completely sever Ukraine's supply lines while dismantling the entire defensive network surrounding Kiev. General Valery Gerasimov, chief of the Russian General Staff, believes this decisive strike could bring an end to what Moscow calls its special military operation in a single, relentless phase. Initially, the plan was delayed due to unfavorable international circumstances, but by September 2025, Russia officially activated Storm No.3, ushering in a new stage of the conflict. Massive airstrikes have been launched directly targeting Ukraine's defense infrastructure and even the power centers of Kiev itself. This marks a clear signal that the war has entered the realm of full-scale, comprehensive warfare. Battlefield developments in Ukraine. In early September, Russia launched a series of unprecedented large-scale airstrikes. September 7, strikes targeted Ukraine's defense industrial facilities, airports, seaports, and radar systems. September 8, the Trikuta thermal power plant, Ukraine's largest energy facility, was destroyed. September 10, the city of Lviv was hit with multiple UAV production sites and aircraft repair plants reduced to rubble. September 14th, Russia carried out simultaneous strikes on 142 targets, including a UAV training center and an ammunition train. Alongside its air campaign, Russia expanded its naval operations. The sinking of the Ukrainian warship Simferopol showcased Moscow's ability to enforce a blockade in the Black Sea. Cruise missiles such as Caliber and Kh-101, combined with Geron drones, were deployed to devastate major military depots in Ivano-Frankivsk. On the ground, Russian forces captured Kostiantynivka and Novomikhailivka, extended their control over Dnipropetrovsk province, and broke through defensive lines around Huliaipol. Most notably, Ukraine's defenses in Pokrovsk nearly collapsed, forcing Commander Syrskyi to take direct command on the front. The picture is clear. Russia is dictating the tempo of the battlefield, combining relentless air power with coordinated ground offensives, leaving Ukraine increasingly on the defensive. Under relentless strikes, Ukraine has suffered heavy losses. UAV brigades, once the spearhead of modern warfare, have been severely degraded. Energy, transport, and defense infrastructure has been destroyed on a massive scale. Facing a manpower shortage, Kiev has been forced to recruit women as UAV operators to compensate for its exhausted forces. In Odessa, Ukrainian troops even cleared mines haphazardly to safeguard the ports, an act that inadvertently created major risks for international commercial shipping. These developments underscore Ukraine's dire predicament, drained of resources, caught in a defensive posture, and compelled to resort to emergency measures fraught with danger. Many Western military experts have spoken out. German General Roland Carter stated that Ukraine has lost the ability to resist, while Russia holds overwhelming superiority in ground forces, air power, and UAV capabilities. He emphasized that if Pokrovsk were to fall, the entire course of the war would be fundamentally altered. He further argued that the West lacks the political will to significantly increase aid, leaving diplomacy as Ukraine's only viable option. Meanwhile, U.S. media outlets such as The Washington Post observed that President Trump is deliberately delaying sanctions, avoiding a full blockade on Russia in order to preserve leverage at the global negotiating table. The common thread in these assessments is clear. The West increasingly views Ukraine as being in a position of weakness, with diplomacy becoming the inevitable path forward. Odessa, a strategic flashpoint. Odessa has long been regarded as the gateway to the Black Sea, a vital hub for Western arms deliveries and Ukraine's crucial grain exports. For France and the United Kingdom, Odessa represents a strategic lifeline. Paris once considered deploying peacekeeping forces, even hinting at the use of nuclear weapons should the city come under existential threat. London, meanwhile, has been deeply involved in training, intelligence, and military aid operations centered in Odessa. Yet today, the reality on the ground is starkly different. Russia has enforced a blockade, sunk the Simferopol warship, and demonstrated the ability to strike directly at NATO's intelligence network. Ukraine's reckless mine clearing has only worsened the situation, triggering accidents that endangered multiple international commercial vessels. In effect, Russia has brought Odessa to a near standstill, directly undermining the strategic interests of both France and the United Kingdom. Internal turmoil. Within NATO, the UK and France. At the very moment when NATO's unity is being tested, two of its key European pillars are mired in domestic political crises. In the United Kingdom, massive far-right protests organized by Tommy Robinson and openly supported by Elon Musk have erupted. Demonstrators rallied against immigration policies, blaming the government and bringing millions into the streets. The unrest has spiraled into a severe political crisis. In France, the Block Everything movement has spread nationwide, challenging President Macron's leadership. The far left is calling for Macron's removal, pushing the country toward the prospect of new parliamentary elections, likely to deliver unfavorable results for the ruling bloc. The consequence is clear. Two of NATO's strongest European members are now distracted by internal instability, casting serious doubt on their ability to sustain long-term support for Ukraine. On the technological front, Russia has successfully tested the Zircon hypersonic missile, capable of reaching Mach 9 speeds with a range of over 1,000 kilometers. Virtually impossible to intercept, this weapon dramatically strengthens Moscow's deterrence posture, particularly against NATO from the Arctic front. At the same time, Russian UAVs have repeatedly penetrated the airspace of Poland and Romania, leaving NATO in disarray. Reluctant to escalate the conflict, these countries have refrained from shooting them down. When NATO raised the issue at the United Nations, only 46 out of 193 nations expressed support, a stark diplomatic setback for the alliance. Russia is not only achieving victories on the front lines, but also gaining diplomatic leverage through the maneuvering of President Trump in Belarus, while its hypersonic weapons provide overwhelming deterrence. In contrast, NATO and the EU are plagued by divisions and declining credibility, while Ukraine sinks deeper into exhaustion. Increasingly, diplomacy is emerging as the only path the world sees ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the latest overview of Operation Storm No.3 and the broader geopolitical military landscape. We will continue to closely monitor developments to bring you timely and comprehensive analysis. Thank you for watching. If you found this report insightful, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest coverage.